Are you ready? Hey! Are you ready? Are you ready for the competition?
Movie world, you have to really look for some great content because a lot of that original stuff that we are having promised come to 2021 has not came yet. But we found some hidden gems.
Yeah.
We just saw a movie recently called
Promising Young Woman.
Starring who?
Carey Mulligan and Bo Burnham.
And I think Margot Robbie was one of the producers. And this movie is basically about a woman that has gone through some trauma in her life from events that happened in college.
Mm-hmm.
A big underrated issue is a lot of sexual assault goes on in these colleges.
Yep.
Brock Turner is a wonderful example about that. A guy that ended up sexually assaulting a girl behind a dumpster, and it ended up just not getting 3 months for it. So I think this was something that wanted to shed light on that world of just a lot of privileged people getting away with stuff like that. The trailer, you could see that she is out to, she targets people like that.
Yeah.
She pretends like she goes to these clubs or events, pretends like she's crazy drunk. They take her home, and she just gives them a taste of reality, kind of a
wake-up call, kind of like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You didn't consent to all this. Why are you touching me? And all that.
Yeah.
So what did you think about this movie?
Okay, so overall, I think it was a good movie. I liked the overall story. I liked the overall vibe. I really, really like Carey Mulligan. I think she's a great actress. I think she's very, very pretty. So screw that critic.
Absolutely.
The only thing that like I didn't like about it was like that switch of like there was like a weird vibe switch about halfway through the movie.
They made it seem
for
like it
about
was going
10
to be
minutes.
a love story. And you're like, what is this? Is this a revenge story? Is this a drama? Is this a thriller? Is this a love story?
It felt a little weird, and it felt like mismatched for the rest of the movie, and the tone, like it just felt random. Like they were like, oh, let's throw in some light and happy stuff and butterflies and rainbows, and it was like, ew, gross. Like, get out. I would have rather just cut all of that out and just kept the rest, like kept it all dark.
And that made it slower a burn too. To the fact I was just like, this better not be the end of the movie.
I thought the same thing. I was like, is it really gonna stop here?
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst ending of all time if they stop it here. Thankfully, they did not.
But they didn't.
And it had a wonderful ending, I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, it's bittersweet. But at the end of the day, it was a good ending, and I think it was a really great premise, and I think they wrote it, acted it really, really well. So.
Oh, for sure. Bo Burnham, he's a comedian. I think a lot of comedians give great performances when it comes to dramatic roles because a lot of these comedians are just like, there's a lot going on in them, and comedy is their therapy. But I had some of the same issues you had. Sometimes it was a slow burn, and I think that they could have did a little bit more with when it comes to. I was expecting like some type of John Wick situation where okay, you're a sexual assaulter, so I'm going to get my revenge on anybody that does stuff like that, beat him up, torture him, and stuff like that. I was expecting a weird thriller,
and they gave like a weird. Like they almost tried to make you think that.
Yeah,
one
that's
with
how
the
they sold it to
trailer,
us, yeah.
And in the beginning of the movie, I don't know if you noticed. When she's walking after she leaves that first guy's place, and she's walking down the street right before she gets catcalled, and it's showing just her legs, and you see this red stuff like on her leg, which looks like blood.
Yeah.
And then it pans all the way up her body, and really she's just eating a jelly donut, and it's dripped all down like her body basically, and it looks like she's got blood like on her clothes and her leg and stuff. And so they made it look like that. And it wasn't like
that. That's I guess, I mean, sometimes that's not a bad thing, but that is what I was expecting. I was expecting some type of I'm going to get at the most dirtbag people on this planet and torture them. But it really wasn't that. But I think the best part of the movie though was when it would get dramatic of why she's doing this.
Yes.
You know, the origin story of why she is like this, and the toll it keeps on her heart. So that's the part I did like about it. The overall story of why she does the things she does is great.
And I like the way they didn't tell you outright what it was.
Yeah,
like you kind of just had to like read into it and be like, oh, okay, so this is what happened. This is why she's doing. This is why she feels the way she feels, and why this is like almost like her life goal.
Exactly.
You know, like her purpose almost is to do this. You know, because the reason she's doing it is because, you know, all these people are out here doing absolutely awful, despicable, unethical things to other people and getting away with it.
Yeah.
And her like revenge is to come back at those people and, you know, be like, why did you do what you did, and how are you still like okay with this?
Yeah.
You know, how do you sleep at night type of thing. And, you know, like you said, I wanted to see her like beat people up or do yada yada yada, but like she was able to call them out in a way that was still ethical and still completely terrify them.
I think she used her mind.
It was really a mental thing.
It was more of a mental,
which was cool.
Mental mess around. But yeah, that
was cool to see the way that she could mess up anybody.
She did it in
just
a
with her
more
mind.
Joker way. Yeah, like Joker's not a tough guy, but you know he can mess with your mind. And I think that was cool how he did it. But my complaints, like you did, like you were saying, like it was kind of a slow burn. Like when they're introducing Bo Burnham's character, which he was. I liked his character, him. But I just didn't want to see her in love. It was just weird. Yeah. But you know, I think that the stuff that I was complaining about, it did pay off in the end to the you know the twist and the surprise and the big reveals and stuff like that. But I definitely I like it. It's not one that I'm probably gonna revisit, but it is a pretty good movie. Yeah. So did you guys see Promising Young Women? I definitely do recommend it if you haven't. And let us know in the comments what you thought about it. And did you not like it as much as we did? Or did you think that we're crazy and it's a way better movie than we're gassing it up to be? And yes, if you know anybody that's gone through a situation like this, you know, it's important to report it or, you know, be patient with them. You know, you never know what's going on in their lives. Yeah, just be willing to hear them out and listen and go with the flow they're giving you, because it's a heavy thing to have to deal with. Excuses like we were kids, don't fly. Doesn't fly.
Help keep your brother out the streets. Subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel. Love, peace, and chicken.